Welcome to JewishTV.media. I'm going to be speaking about slander. So I was once sitting in a table with a group of people. We're sitting and we're having a third meal. This is what people do in the shul together. A group of guys. It was a bunch of different guys. And what happened was someone said about a rabbi that he stole this whole speech from Dr. Sachs. Rabbi Dr. Sachs, from the chief rabbi of London. So everyone's saying, yeah, and talking about it. One guy there that's a simple guy, sitting amongst them, turns around and he says, I'm sure he didn't take it. I'm sure he didn't take it, and he just knocked out the whole conversation. He stopped the whole talking about this rabbi, how he stole someone's speech. I was sitting amongst them and I felt bad. Because here I am, I'm meant to be the one that does not speak slander, representative of a rabbi, and here I am listening to the slander, and just a simple guy that doesn't sit and learn, sits and learns, but he's not like a rabbi or anything like that, and he goes ahead and he's stopping the slander. So I thought perhaps this guy's a naive guy, and because he's naive, he doesn't realize that he's not, yes, it could be such a thing that a rabbi takes away someone else's speech and just gives over someone else's speech. So I walked up to him after and I wanted to know, is he naive, or does he really think that this rabbi did not take it? So I walked up over to him and I asked him the question, do you really think he didn't take it? And he got all nervous because he thinks, here I am trying to, again, start the conversation. So he says, doesn't make a difference. I said, no, I really want to know if you thought so or not. So he didn't have time to answer me. He walked away. But when he came, I met him 2 days later, and he walks up to me and he says to me, I really think he didn't take this speech, and he started giving me reasons why he thought that. So I asked him on the spot, I told him, wait a second, tell me something. Did you have these reasons now? Or did you have these reasons at the time, or did you get these reasons right later after I asked you the question? His answer was, he got the reasons after I asked him the question. So it taught me a tremendous thing about slander. A person, if we stand up and we stop speaking about somebody, even though we might think it's true, but if we stop, we say, perhaps it's not true, and we say, I don't believe such a thing, then already we'll have to fight and figure out why it's not true. Where do we learn this from? We learn this from the court, the Beis Din. When the Sanhedrin come together, the big court, they come together and they're judging someone on life and death. So what they tell him? They tell him, the ones that are saying that he's innocent cannot say he's guilty till the end of the judgment. If they said he's innocent in the beginning of judgment, throughout the whole give and take relation, going in backwards and forwards, if he's obligated for a death penalty or not, they're not allowed to change their opinion. The rabbis explain why is that, because if they said that he does not deserve a death penalty, they will constantly defend it throughout the whole court case. So therefore, we do not allow them to change, because we try to get them to say that he's not guilty. We try to prevent them from, because they said this opinion, now they're going to have to fight for it and search for reasons why they're right. So if you're standing and someone's speaking about someone else, and you go ahead and you say, oh, this guy is a good guy, I don't believe he would do such a thing, suddenly now you will have to be this guy's representative and try and get him off that you're right what you said. Suddenly it becomes your personal opinion already now. How does that happen? Because I spoke first. I didn't have the reason before. I first said the guy's a good guy, and then after that someone says, you really think so? And now I have to start saying why he's a good guy, and I have to think why he's a good guy. So one of the ways to prevent a person from speaking slander, dealing with slander, is when not saying to yourself, okay, could be, rather stand up and say, I don't believe the guy did such a thing, he's a good guy. And then suddenly you'll have to find out why he's a good guy. It's the opposite of the way people think. People think if he's a good guy, he didn't do it. But if I don't think he's a good guy, perhaps he did it. And the approach to it is the opposite. First you go ahead and you speak about the guy good, and then you'll see that you'll start finding reasons why he's good. That's the way to deal with slander. That's the story that happened with me on just a meal. This in a meal, a simple guy stood up straight away, answered, and when I challenged him, he had to think of reasons why he was right, because he had to defend his own opinion. That's the approach a person takes. If you take that approach, it works. And I see it in life when I say about someone that he's a good guy, suddenly I have to find reasons. I think to myself, why is he a good guy? So constantly when you meet people, when you're talking to someone, says, hey, do you know this person? Do you know that person? And you say, yeah, he's a great guy. I like him a lot. You start thinking about why is he a great guy? He's a great guy because he's friendly, or whatever it is that you can find good about that person. He's a generous person, whatever it is. You do that approach, it helps us to fight slander and deal with it in the right way. Thank you for listening to us.
JewishTV.media